Broadcasting live from the campus of Holyoke Community College, this is 103.5 WCCH Midday with the Raj.
Woo.
Part 3, back with my good old buddy, Patrick LaBelle, or should I say, Patman. Glad to be here with you again today on a chilly afternoon in Holyoke, Massachusetts. I'm not going to lie, folks, for all you out there, before we get into the sports and the script. Weather nowadays is not so pleasing, isn't it, Pat?
No, Big Al. It's terrible out there. It's a cold world. Bundle up, folks.
I would say, I think everybody out there, for all you Yahoo listeners out there, I feel like everybody's ready for spring.
Big time. I feel like I go into hibernation mode in the winter. So I'm coming out of my cage and I'm doing just fine, Big Al.
I bet, boss. I bet. So, no, I'm just glad that we're back here today. At first, I thought you weren't even going to make it, bro. You were at a radio. Tell the folks out there where you were at today.
Yeah, sure. For all the wonderful listeners here on 103.5 WCCH. We just had a little bit of a field trip going on, kind of School of Rock style,
Awesome.
coming in.
Awesome.
Brought a bunch of the DJs here over to WHMP in Northampton.
Cool.
So I want to take a moment to give a quick shout out to Bill Newman and
Woo,
Buzz over there. They're doing a great job on Talk the Talk. We heard a lot of enlightening conversation, and they were giving us all the ins and outs of the world of professional radio. It was really cool, and hopefully we can go back soon. So shout out WHMP, the second best station in Massachusetts behind 103.5 WCCH.
Absolutely. Nothing beats the little 103.5 WCCH, you know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with being second best. That's all right, guys.
Yep, as long as we're at number 1, that's all that matters.
There we go.
So, all right, so you want to dig into the script? I know you had your little introduction, unless you got anything else to say before we get started.
Nah, maybe you kick us off here, Big Al. What's been going on in the sports world?
All right, well, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming back on for Pat this week, because I feel like last week was one of my best shows I've ever had, let alone as my second show, and I got to say, for many more to come, like you said last week, that was a great way to start.
For sure. Let's show them what they're missing out on.
So let's see what's going on in the sports world. We are going to get started with, do you want to get started with a little NHL?
Let's start NHL.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's see if they'll save the last two stuff and maybe a little bit of NFL talk later. Let's go a little NHL. All right, so did you see the other day, for all you out there, did you guys see the other day? I know Sweden beat USA the other day. I watched that, but that was a tough one. But did you see the other day when USA played Canada for the first time? And then this year's Olympic stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like you saw those 3 fights in 5 seconds. Did you see that?
I didn't have a chance to see it. What happened?
Just went down, straight up brawl, Pat.
Oh my God!
Like three fights in 5 seconds, my man. And
I didn't even know you could fight in the Olympics.
Well, I don't know. Because my friend said they brought it back or whatever. Like they brought back this type of hockey because of course hockey was on their All-Star break, so they wanted to mix up a little bit of things. So
Oh yeah.
it was cool, 3 fights in 5 seconds. But while that was happening, I was watching the NBA All-Star Game, like, festivities, and I was just like, I'm missing out on something so much better than watching this stuff. And I'm going to get to NBA later so we can go back to NHL.
Yeah.
But I should have watched that. Like, that was cool, bro. Like, I mean, and, USA and Canada, and I don't really know that much about hockey, but I've heard that USA and Canada's rivalry hits different, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, for sure. I used to be big into the NHL video game. I always remember you playing
NHL 12 or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. That was probably like prime time for me. I was a big I actually used to be a really good NHL video game player, way back in the day. But anyways, that's besides the point. It just ties back into the USA versus Canada. Always a very big rivalry. And I saw that one. But Al, remind me, is this for Olympics or is this something different? I'm not trying to question you.
I think I want to see. I'm going to check right now and see exactly what
World
it's for.
Championship or something? I don't know.
Something like that.
We'll do a fact
USA, check. 4 Nations Face-Off Championship.
I see. Okay.
So that is Thursday the 20th between USA and Canada, the 4 Nations Face-Off Championship. So
are a lot of stars playing? I know sometimes a lot of the stars will sit out.
I think maybe I don't. You know me. I don't really, like I said, for all you guys out there, I don't really pay attention to hockey. But I mean, I guess I wouldn't really know the answer to that, to be honest. But no, I thought I would just kick it off with a little bit of that. I wanted to get your opinion on that before we jump into a little bit of because now since the NFL's done, I gotta mix it up a little bit. So I want to see what else is going on in the sports world. So as you may know, the NBA, the All-Star Game. I'll jump into that. The All-Star Game format just wasn't it. Like, I don't think the players liked the way the games were supposed to. The games were up to 40 instead of just playing normal 4-quarter games. And, like, Pat, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, they did this format on purpose. I don't know why they did it on purpose. Because they wanted to see the players play defense. Now, I didn't get that at all. I thought that was, first of all, I thought it was pretty foolish. And second, I just didn't like the way they set it up.
Yeah.
And I don't think, to be honest with you, I know you just said you didn't watch. I don't think the players liked it either.
Yeah, Big Al, it's hard with the All-Star games, especially in the professional leagues where these guys work so hard, not just in the season, all year round, getting in shape, staying in shape, and just all around being mentally into it as well. So, like, in a way, I can't fully blame them for being like, oh my God, this is my 4 days off. I want to just enjoy it. But then there's another part of me that also says, you get paid millions, so get out there and play. I got a little bit of the owner mentality in me. But that being said, all jokes aside, I really am a player first guy in all the leagues. So I see where they're coming from. What are your thoughts on it, Al? How do we fix this?
Honestly, Pat, I think they should just go back to normal. They should just keep it back to the 4 quarters that they did. I mean, but the NBA All-Star game is so boring, though. Like, I mean, all it is, and for all you guys out there, if you guys even pay attention to it, and for you guys that don't pay attention to it, I don't blame you for it. It's boring. It's just chucking up gigantic 45, 50-foot threes, doing crazy alley-oop dunks, not even trying on defense. Like, I understand you guys don't want to get hurt, but what's the point of, like, any of this, to be honest with you? Besides giving your body a week off to, like, regenerate before going back into, like, the whole shebang again. But I'm just saying, like, my personal opinion, Pat, I think that Adam Silver is making the league a little too, the commissioner of the NBA is making the league a little too untrusting with him. And I don't really think people very like Adam Silver either. Yeah. And I don't really think the players were very pleased with the way the format was this year. And I think if, on a personal note, I think they should fix that.
Yeah. How'd the dunk contest go? I used to always like that.
It went pretty well, actually. Who won the dunk contest, actually, the other day when they had it, actually. I will look it up. I remember because I was watching it live. I just forgot who won the NBA dunk contest.
I think I saw one. I don't know if this was the winning dunk, but I saw some guy jump over a car and do like
that
a
was
backwards
that was
dunk.
insane.
That was pretty cool.
That was wild. Who won the NBA dunk contest this year in 2025? I'm drawing the guy blank on his name because I remember who it was, but I just don't remember his name. Here it is. His name was Matt McClung. Actually, he won it 3 years in a row.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let me say something real quick on that. I'm not trying to disrespect Matt. What's his name? Matt McClung?
Yep.
I'm not trying to disrespect him, but this is one kind of qualm I always had with the dunk contest. Back in the day, it used to be the guy would be in the dunk contest. Like, you'd see maybe Jordan or Barkley, like some of the stars of the league. Like, again, no disrespect, Matt McClung, but that's not really a name that really probably known around the league. He's maybe like the 12th man on the bench. Like, not trying to be disrespectful. Again, professional NBA player. But that being said, I like when the stars are in there. What about you, Al?
Honestly, Pat, that's a good point. I do like when the stars are in there, too. But I also think that there's also the odd man out. Sometimes the sub's got to show them what's up.
No, that's true, too. And you know what? That's a good spin on it. It gives them a chance to shine a little bit. So maybe I shouldn't be such a cynic. That's okay.
Well, of course, Pat, you kind of made me laugh on that. I got to say that when it comes to all that, but I think you mentioned a few players like Charles Barkley and who else did you mention?
Jordan.
And Michael Jordan. But can we also not forget about Vince Carter's amazing dunk back in 2000?
True. Elbow in the rim.
Gotta say, Vince Carter's a stud.
Yeah, I used to do that on the mini basketball hoop in the back of my door. I guess it's not quite the same. Slightly different.
You know what's funny about that? The other day, me and my friends were just talking about that, actually. We were talking about doing dunks like that, like crazy on the mini hoops.
Yeah. Classic.
Those were the days, my friend. Those were the days. But no, I mean, I just think the NBA, on a personal, needs to fix the All-Star Game format because it's not good, and I don't really think not many people enjoyed it this year, including the players. But Team Shaq won the NBA All-Star Game championship, I guess, or whatever they're doing this year. But because I don't know, Pat. I didn't watch it, but on a personal note, what do you think the NBA has to do to get like people to maybe just go back to what they used to do. Because like honestly, because clearly them playing defense just didn't work out for all you listeners out there. They didn't play any defense. There was one possession maybe at the end of a game where a guy had his hand out like this for like 2 seconds and then just let him go for a free dunk to win the game. Go ahead, I'm listening.
No, Al, you kind of put me on the spot with this one because it is a tough one because it goes back. I hate to be a broken record, but the guys want to break. So like when it comes to you're the commissioner of the league and you got to tell them, hey guys, you need to be going all out in this game. You need to be like going all in on defense. If I'm the players, I'm like, yeah, Adam, we're going to try our best. Wink, wink. And then I'm going to get out there and maybe just be trying to have some fun and throw some alley-oops, which isn't really great for the fans. I don't think it's a bad idea though to go back to at least having it be like a true game. I'm not a huge fan of the whole pickup thing either. That's a little bit like tacky to me.
And also, I think the reason why they did this too was, they wanted to make things go by faster. But on my mind, Pat, to be honest, bro, I didn't really think it was good at all. I just think that the players didn't like it. Clearly, there was some problems with it too. And the whole goal, like I said, I think I'm a broken record because I've said this 3 times in the last 5 minutes. The goal was to get guys to actually play defense, and that lasted for 30 seconds on one possession.
Wait a minute, does the NBA? I guess the answer is probably no now, but didn't they used to do whoever won the All-Star game got the extra game in the finals?
Yeah, they used to back in the day, but I don't think that's not a factor anymore.
I mean, that could clearly be one to get guys to start moving again, especially if you're on a championship contender.
Like the Boston Celtics.
Because who knows, that game might be the difference in the end. So, that would be kind of an obvious one, I guess, right there. But that being said, I'm not sure how much I love that in the first place because, I don't know, I guess I never really was a huge All-Star game guy. So,
sure.
To make it really that high stakes is almost maybe a little bit too much in the other direction.
Yeah, and different time, different era too.
Yeah.
So but
I used to love those games though, 140 to 132.
yeah, because here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. It'd just be a 138 to 130 or 135 to 132. That's because nobody would play defense. They'd chuck up 50 or 40-foot threes, and then the other guy would just stand there and be like, "Oh, I hit the three," freaking, and or someone does some crazy alley-oop dunk like you said the other day, or what happened the other day with the guy dunking on the car. I mean, that's different because it's a dunk contest. But someone does some crazy ball bounces up like that and slams it one-hand windmill on the friggin' rim. I mean, it's just that's why. I feel like all-star games in general, not even just the NBA, just sports in general, the MLB and NFL. I don't know how they do it with the NHL, but I'm sure they do the same thing. It's not fun. It's boring. And to be honest with you, all it is to have guys have their, if you're talking the NBA, have their 30 seconds of glory, or MLB have that one home run that you just don't forget about in the All-Star game, or just something that doesn't matter at all, and then have somebody make some crazy passing touchdown in the Pro Bowl, or the NHL All-Star game, someone shoots scores a goal for the game winner, you know what I'm saying? It's just those moments that you understand, but you got to know that it doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and not all All-Star games are created equal. The NFL should just get rid of it.
The Pro Bowl, I 100% agree. I think that's a joke too, to be honest.
It's so pointless. And that one also, just in terms of the physicality of the league, it's
what's the point of it?
Stop
Exactly.
it. It's just a joke at this point.
No.
Although I did kind of used to when they would do, I don't know if this was in the All-Star game or if this was, maybe I'm getting confused Pro Bowl, but I like when they would do feats of strength. I thought that was pretty cool. How many bench press reps can you do? But I guess that ties back in injuries as well and liability, blah, blah, blah. Lawyer talk.
But no, 100%. I think I can agree on that, with everything you just said, because, it's just not the same as stuff used to be.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with the NBA, before I go to my first break, I just want to say that, for the NBA, just for all you guys out there, fix the format, fix the things that it used to be. I mean, I know that nobody really cares about the NBA All-Star game, but, just, make it a little, the way, I guess, if Pat, the easiest way to say it is the way it used to be.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but if it ain't perfect, tune it up.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, well, I am going to go to my first break. We've had a good first 13 minutes of the show.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling, baby.
So we're going to go on with the songs. I know you're going to ask me what songs I picked today. In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
Yes.
We are going to do a little bit of Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. We're going to do Enter Sandman by Metallica and Icky Thump by the White Stripes. So all rock and roll today.
Let's go.
So we will be back with Midday with the Raj Part 3 in about 5 minutes.
All right, rock on. See y'all in a bit, folks. You're listening to 103.5 WCCH.
CCH. And we're back with Midday with the Raj on 103.5 WCCH. I do have a little bit of, what do we got? Some PSAs? All right. So we are going to grab, where is that gambling one we had? Because I know I did the whole Magic thing last week, so let's kick it up a notch a little bit. Here we go. Excuse me. Connecticut Western Massachusetts Gamblers announced website. So the website includes basic information on problem gambling and gamblers, anonymous the meeting directory for Connecticut, and WMA referrals to related websites, including Gam Aaron and the International Gambling Office. Members and anniversary dates, news, and upcoming events such as open meetings. Also, information for administrating gamblers. Anonymous groups such as forums and documentaries can be found under Intergroup. To contact us, use email address ctwmag@yahoo.com. Helpline phone number available 24 hours at 855-222-5542. That's 855-222-5542. So...
Yeah, that's a great read. And let me just say, too, I know this is a sports show. Be careful out there. All these gambling websites, it's getting a little bit out of control, in my opinion, where it's like targeting kids, targeting everybody. Save your money, folks. Gambling, it's not the route to go. I know people have had some problems. So.
I would say definitely depends on how much money you're doing, but also be very careful and cautious of what you do when it comes to gambling.
Don't throw the rent money on the Celtics. Been there. Don't do it.
You heard it from Professor Pat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Anyways,
all right,
what do we got now?
I'll finish up a little bit on the NBA. We got tomorrow night the Celtics are back in action from the NBA they're back from the All-Star break.
Let's go.
Playing the 76ers tomorrow night. So if you don't got anything to watch, tune into the Celtics tomorrow night. On Friday night, my Golden State Warriors are taking on the Sacramento Kings. So if you don't have anything to do on Friday, check out Golden State as well. So, I feel like for the second half turnaround, Pat, as I keep going a little bit on the NBA before we get to the MLB, what do you think the key is for the Celtics this second half? Although I know they are playing outstanding basketball.
You gotta just keep moving the ball around, keep passing the rock, and let Jason do his thing.
I would say just let JT do his thing because he's having a phenomenal season.
For sure. I've missed out the last few weeks, but he was having kind of an MVP season earlier in the year. How's he doing nowadays? Fill me in.
Nowadays, Tatum's Tatum.
Or who is in the MVP race in the NBA?
You know what? Let's go look it up.
Let's figure out who the MVP is going to be.
Let's go to. I can just look up on my computer.
All right. We're doing a little fact check for people listening in right now. You're listening to Midday with the Raj here on 103.5 WCCH.
Yes, you are.
And we're doing a little research right now. And if you think you know who the MVP should be, why don't you give us a call? 413-552-2103. One more time. This is our request line. 413-552-2103. Who's the MVP of the NBA this year?
Off, but
well, that's all right.
I will look it up on my phone. So, yeah, if you want to call us, what is the number again, Pat?
Let's do it one more time. It is 413-552-2103. Give us a ring. Who's the MVP this year?
Yeah, call us on our FM dial at 413-552-2103.
Here we go.
MVP race in the NBA right now. Kier race the MVP leader. So, what do we got? Let's cook us something up here, Pat. Let's see what we got.
Drum roll, please.
So, no, this is not what I was exactly looking for, but, for the race, the MVP race, we have, Kia MVP ladder. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is 1. I believe Nikola Jokic is 2.
Oh, he's always a contender.
Jokic is very key for MVP because he's a really good player.
That man can
so
do
Shea
it all.
Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum,
Also, Tatum's still up there.
Karl
all right.
Anthony Towns. The next 5 are LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, Jarrett Jackson, Jalen Brunson, and Donovan Mitchell.
Wow, crazy that LeBron's even still in the conversation. Just true
Well,
testament to him.
He is LeBron for a reason, right?
I'm a Bron stan for sure. Love Bron.
Anyways, no, absolutely. I definitely love LeBron too. That's
You have to appreciate generational talent.
I would say so, definitely. Generational talent is big, especially in the NBA. And when it comes to having a guy like LeBron on your team, it's very hard not to be successful when you have a guy that's been, in my opinion, the best player in my generation. So, I did cover a lot when it came to the NBA, but do you think it's time to go to the MLB?
Yeah, let's change gears here a little bit.
See what's going on with the MLB world. So, for all you Boston Red Sox fans out there,
Sox.
Alex Bregman, 3-year deal with the Red Sox.
Oh,
I want to get Pat's take on that.
there we go. I like it. He's a solid player. What position does he play again?
3rd.
All right, Bregman.
So
Where's he
maybe-
coming from, Al?
Houston.
Oh, that's how I know the name. Okay, Houston win the World Series a couple of years.
So, but it's crazy. There's been a little bit of I know that they found a little bit, the other day they were all on the same page, but the other day Devers is like, I only play 3rd and that's it. So, I don't know, because if Bregman's
Hey,
a third
what?
baseman too.
I thought Devers played a couple positions.
No, he's primarily 3rd.
Oh, he just said he wants to play 3rd. Well, cold world. I don't know. Who's at short nowadays? Maybe a Bregman slide over there.
Or Bregman, what do you mean? Oh, shortstop?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Bogarts, right?
No. Bogarts is on San Diego now.
Oh, God. I'm a little outdated.
You're a little outdated? That's okay.
That's all right.
That's all right. I'll find out for you right now, bro. It's not shortstop. Is Trevor Story.
Trevor Story. Oh, yeah, he's solid. Okay, never mind. No one's moving to short. Oh, so is Bregman even going to be a starter? Is he
Yeah,
gonna be-
no, absolutely, of course, bro.
Oh, so Devers is going to ride the pine.
No. Devers will play too. They just have to figure out what they're gonna do. Maybe they swap positions. Maybe have Bregman play 2nd and then just keep Devers at 3rd, or they put Bregman at 3rd and have Devers DH.
Oh, I see.
You can do that
Oh,
too.
luckily they got the DH. I forgot about that.
So, what's your opinion? What do you think? Do you think that's huge for the Red Sox, or?
Yeah, that's huge for the Sox. How far did the Sox even make the playoffs last year? No, right? Oh God, yeah. So they're going all out this year. They got to at least
Well,
make
I think
the playoffs.
I think John Henry finally found out that he needed to go out and do his thing.
No,
for
people
sure.
are upset. People have been upset ever since the Mookie Betts letting him walk, which that was fair. You don't let a player like that go away. I loved Mookie. He's probably my favorite player.
I think you and a bunch of other people could agree on that because Mookie's something else. For sure.
They did get thrown some serious money though, so I mean, I see where they're coming from too. Easier said than done when you're not signing the checks, but
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
But also, yeah, the Red Sox have always had a little bit of weird ownership because I don't know if you knew this, Al. They're kind of tied into some soccer teams as well.
I heard about that.
So they've always kind of been critiqued for like putting the soccer teams first. But that being said, I mean, soccer's huge worldwide. But yeah, they don't always put like nearly as much passion / resources into the hometown team as some of the fans would like.
So like what you're trying to say is that maybe they have a little bit more passion for the things that they own.
Well, they own both. They own the Sox, but they own the soccer team. But I think they care more about the soccer team for sure.
You think they care more about the soccer team than they do with the baseball team?
For sure, that's where they put their money usually.
I think my mouse might be dead, dude. I don't know. We'll find that out later on in the break. But I would say, yeah, because it's not moving.
Okay, I'll do technical difficulties. You keep talking.
Anyways, yeah, go for it. So, you're still listening to 103.5 WCCH with Midday with the Raj. We are on a little bit of a talk about the MLB. We didn't cover Alex Bregman. So I want to see now if we can talk about a little bit about, I don't know if you saw this, Pat. Vladimir Guerrero failed to reach an extension with the Blue Jays and will test free agency next winter. I would like to see what your opinion is on that because the Red Sox are one of the teams that'd be in on him. Same with the New York Yankees.
Oh, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Well, I got to say, this might date me a little bit. I remember when Vlad Guerrero, the original,
his dad,
was in the league
was
with the
on
Angels.
the Angels, yes.
And I thought he had one of the best swings in the league.
Also, his stance was pretty good, too. You know, you just go up there and just be like, you got to see a guy like Vlad Guerrero up there. You got to know something good's going to happen when you have him on the plate, dude.
Yeah, he kind of had that Kevin Youkilis unique stance going. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out. And the Sox, it's like, come on, guys. Like, no excuse not to be making the playoffs at least. It's way too big of a market, especially in baseball where that can make a real impact.
No, I think the Red Sox had a really good offseason. You know, I think that they'll be back in the playoffs this year. They have their roster's pretty good now. I mean, I think they're going to be back where in Boston they're going to be fine. They're going to be okay. So, you know, on a Yankees point of view, I don't know. I'm having mixed opinions on the Yankees. You know, I'm a big Yankee fan, and just I don't know how I feel about them this year. You know, losing Juan Soto, and just, you know, now understanding that, you know, you got a different team around you. You got Cody Bellinger, you got Paul Goldschmidt, you know, you got Jazz Chisholm, you know, you got Aaron Judge, of course. But I mean, it's just like I look at it on a standpoint, Pat, and I'm just like, I don't know how I am to really react on this. Like, are the Yankees going to be the same team as they were last year? And the answer is no, because this year, all hands on deck. They lost Juan Soto, and now it's just what's there to think of. Like, I don't know how to think how the Yankees are going to do this year. Now, my dad seems to still have some confidence on on them, but I don't know. I'm having mixed opinions on it. I honestly think that the Yankees are the Yankees. They'll make the playoffs, but like I don't think they're gonna go as far as they did. Like they made it to the World Series last year. Between but honestly, from a fan standpoint, Juan Soto also didn't owe the Yankees anything. This was his 1 year as a rental, and then he was getting a maxed out contract like 15 years, like he got with the Mets.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh, he got 15 years.
Yes.
That is insane. Oh my god.
He's gonna be a Met for the rest of his career, unless if he opts out in the last 5 years of his contract.
15 years? How old is he?
26.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I guess that's a little doable. That's still just a real long commitment in professional sports. That's crazy.
It's more than just a commitment, though. He's a generational player. And I think the one thing about Soto, he can smack the crap out of the ball. But the one thing with him is I think the one thing to make him better, he just has to play better defensively. He's not a good defensive player.
Yeah. Is Trout still on the Angels?
Yes, he is.
Oh, my gosh. What do you think about that? Like a wasted career, basically, with a terrible franchise. I shouldn't say wasted.
I don't know if I want to say wasted, but he just didn't really have... I mean, to have the fact that you had Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on the team for so long, just to know that those two never made the playoffs together is kind of sad. But it's also not. They also didn't... Their team around them wasn't really all like that. So.
No. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's just too bad. It's a shame. You want to see guys like that be able to be on a competitive team.
No, 100%. And then when you look like a guy like Mike Trout. But here's another thing about Mike Trout, and I'm glad you brought this up. For all you listeners out there, Mike Trout is just injury prone. He gets hurt way too much.
Yeah. Probably from some back injuries, putting the team on his back over in Anaheim.
You think he's put the team on his back a little bit?
Oh, yeah, big time.
No, he's a good player. I'm not saying that he's not a good player, but he just gets hurt way too much, and you can't have a guy on your team that gets hurt all the time like that. That's not how it works. And Pat, you would know. I mean, you can't have a guy like that. I mean, especially a guy like Trout that has so much talent and around him. Well, not around him, just talent as a player, but just doesn't have it. Sometimes that happens. That's just what happens in sports. And just with Trout. He's still in the league now, but I wonder how much longer he's going to be in it, Pat.
Yeah, he might be nearing the end, but he's been such a joy to watch, such a great player. And Ohtani, too. I mean, how often do you see a guy on both sides of the plate?
Both sides of the plate. I don't think you've ever seen that since Babe Ruth, I don't think.
No, so that's just insane.
And now that he's back to play this year, the league better watch out. Like, no, I mean back to play, back to pitch. Yeah. Now that he's back to pitch this year, the league better watch out for sure. Because, like, Ohtani is a threat, bro. Like, an absolute threat. And, like, the Dodgers are loaded. If there's a team that you want to go, and, like, if they don't win the World Series back-to-back years this year, I know that's hard to win, championships back-to-back years, but the Dodgers have something cooking over in L.A.
Yeah, they're
and
loaded. Clearly
they're not afraid to spend money because they got so many players in the offseason, too. But, I mean, the MLB season should be, fun. But, like, I'm just looking at it from a standpoint, Pat, and I'm just like, do the Yankees really still have that dog in them that they had last year? Because I don't really know. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't really. It's not that I'm not like interested to see what they do with Goldschmidt. You know, we have him for a year. You got Cody Bellinger for a little bit. I mean, the Yankees still don't really have a third baseman. It's like a third base tryout for them. They have also Oswald Cabrera would be one of the options. Oswald Peraza would be another, and then another option would be DJ LeMahieu. And DJ LeMahieu's been hurt for so long now, and it's just I feel bad for the guy. Bro can't catch a break, but he's also older now. He's not the same reigning 2-time batting champion he used to be. So I mean, a lot of things to catch up, you know, when it comes to the MLB. But I think if you're a Red Sox fan, you're gonna have a good year this year, Pat. To be honest with you,
I'm hoping for it.
But when it comes to the Yankees, you know, they'll be good. But like, I still think that, you know, one game at a time. 162 games is a long season, longest season in sports. So you gotta take it one game at a time. That's all I can really say on that, you know. But when it comes to baseball, Pat, I feel like we talk about this over and over again. How long the season is, but just the agenda and the amount of games you play. You play like 5-6 days a week, and you maybe have 1 or 2 days off if you're lucky. But I gotta say, for that long of a season, it must be a lot for the guys. But like, think about how, you know, a little bit of time to get off after they're done with the World Series, but then they're just right back cranking it when February comes around, and you know that's probably a lot for them to take in. But you know, their bodies adjust to it. Plus the travel time too must be a lot.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's insane. That's a true marathon of a season. And yeah, for even the fans too, it's like, geez, gotta take a little break every now and then. Oh my God.
I would say that it's a lot on them, but it's also what they get paid millions for.
Yeah.
So, but
and if you love it, you love it.
If you love it, you love it. If you hate it, you hate it. One thing you will need to do is respect it, though.
Facts.
But I think I'll take one last break, and then we are gonna come back with Midday at the Raj, and we'll finish off with a little bit more MLB talk, maybe one more PSA. And I'll do a little local sports for you guys out there. We'll be right back with Midday with the Raj with Professor Pat and Big Al. Broadcasting live from the campus of Holyoke Community College. This is 103.5 WCCH with Professor Pat and Big Al. We're back with Midday with the Raj. The 3 songs that you have heard so far before I get up to a PSA was Enter Sandman by Metallica, Crazy Train, and In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, Metallica, and Ozzy Osbourne. The last song you will hear before we go off air will be Icky Thump by the White Stripes. So tune into that when we get to that. But before we move on back to the script, Magic the Gathering Club, PSA. Attention Holyoke Community College students. Are you ready to summon your strategy, unleash your creativity? Join the Holyoke Community College Magic the Gathering Club. Whether you're a seasonal planewalker or new to the game, our club offers a welcoming space to play, learn, and connect with fellow enthusiasts. We host weekly game nights, tournaments, and workshops to enhance your skills. Don't miss out on the fun and friendship. Come share your love for Magic. For more information, visit Student Engagement. Come join in the fun. And I know we did this last week, Pat, and you know this way more than I do, so catch us up on that.
On Magic?
Yeah.
Shout out Magic the Gathering. Never played it myself, but it's a great game. And there's some great people in that club. Shout out Ben. Great advising, too. Great leadership.
Shout out Ben. I don't know who you are, but shout you out, brother. So, now that we're done with PSA, now we're done with the whole review on the music, we're going to go back to the script. How's that sound?
All right, let's do it.
All right. So, we were talking a little bit about the Red Sox. I want you to go back on what you're thinking on with the Red Sox this year before I move on to a little Yankee talk.
No, let's skip right to the Yankee talk. I'm all Red Soxed out.
You're all Red Soxed out?
I'm all Red Soxed out. Give us the lowdown on the Yanks.
All right, well, you know, I feel like this year the Yankees they're gonna do well, but like I feel like it's gonna be a up and down year. So, but like I feel like they'll be back in the postseason again. But like I said, Pat, long season, you got to take it one game at a time, and take it, you know, one pitch, one out, one inning at a time. So that's the way it goes for the Yankees. I think it's all about health, just like any other team. You got to stay healthy, you got to stay secure, you got to stay locked in, you got to stay focused, and you got to stay ready. And for the season, I think the Yankees just have to be prepared on what's next and, you know, hope and pray that when they do get there to the playoffs that Aaron Judge, and Judge, I know you can hear me.
Aaron Judge, we know you're listening to Midday with the Raj.
I know you can hear me, boss. You're my favorite player, but you need to hit in the postseason, my guy.
Yeah, stop choking.
You're darn right, Pat. I like
Yeah.
that. You gotta stop choking. Like seriously, like we need you, man. You're the rock and soul of our team. You're the captain of our team. You got named the captain for a reason. That's a special position.
Yep.
Like you gotta start stepping up in the playoffs, man. I love you, but like, come on, you gotta help me out a little bit. But we still got a long way to go. The season hasn't even started yet. So, but I want to say that this year will be a rock and roller coaster. It's a long way to go. So let's just wait and see how it goes. But I'm definitely looking forward to watching the Yanks. It's always fun. So, especially with the new rules they have too. Sometimes it's hard back in the day when the MLB, before they put in these new rules like the pitch clock or anything like that. Stuff is like a little different. When it comes to that stuff, Pat. But like having that rule now is a little huge compared to what things were, back in the day.
Yeah, things are changing. They're trying to enlighten the game a little bit, make it move a little faster.
Yeah,
Can't say
I think
blame
they're
them.
doing a pretty decent job with that too. Rob Manfred and the crew, the commissioner of the MLB, is doing a good job. So I think that's not the problem. It's just like keeping that same mentality going. Having the games go by quicker, having the pitch clock.
Yeah, I like that. Get with the times, folks.
'Cause it's one thing to watch in person for like 3.5 to 4 hours, but you can't be sitting around for 3.5, 4 hours watching a baseball game.
No, too long. Get a life.
Touch grass.
Touch grass, for real, for real.
Touch grass. That's what I would say. But no, off the whole MLB stuff. Oh wow, this mouse keeps falling in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to 103.5 WCCH, this mouse that me and Pat have is just a little bit of a pain, but it's nothing that me and Pat can't handle. So
All good. Final words, Big Al, before the last song.
Final words before the last song. I will mention a little bit of local sports before we move on to the last song. So, I will do a little bit because I still haven't got anything for all you Yahoo listeners out there. I haven't got anything for whole community college sports yet. So, I'm just going to do a little bit of recap on Westfield sports real quick before we wrap up Midday with the Raj Part 3, which I would say it'd been a pretty laid-back show today, Pat. I don't know if you can concur.
Chill vibe show today. All good. Been a long day. Second radio station I've been at today. Ready to roll. Give them a wave.
Yeah, it's Pat. I think it's Pat's time, ladies and gentlemen, to tap out.
It's about that time. I'm also getting a little tired.
I think you deserve it, bro. You were at one radio station, now you're back here. So
Let's go. Maybe I'll try to hit a third. Maybe not. That's for next week.
Yeah, well, I would say I think you've done your part with that this week, so I think we can take a little bit of a break on that.
For sure. Breaks are important in life.
Well,
folks.
I would say
Work
more than
hard, but take breaks.
Yes, exactly, and also have a little control with it too.
True.
So. Okay, so we'll check a little bit out. Westfield Tech basketball ended up losing their last 2 games. I'll check in on the girls basketball too, actually. Why not? We'll do a little bit of that for both Westfield Tech and Westfield High. They both lost their last 2 games, but, shout out Coach Siglecki and Coach DeLude from Westfield Tech. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't, but that's just not in sports, that's in life too, But at least you go out there and try and play your hardest. That's the only thing that matters, Hard work pays off. So, future years, let's keep grinding.
Love that. Keep it positive.
So, Westfield High actually won their last 2 games. They beat Ludlow and they beat Southwick with some blowouts, Pat.
All right.
The Bombers, go Bombers, 27-point blowout against the Ludlow Lions. Against the Southwick Rams, they beat them by 26.
Hey, there you go.
So, shout out to the Bombers.
That's how you finish strong.
They have a game tonight against UMass. Did I say UMass? Against Amherst Polham Regional School at 7:00 at Westfield High. If you don't have anywhere to go to Westfield High tonight to support your Bombers.
Hey, yeah, let's keep it rolling, Bombers.
Keep it
Here
rolling.
We go.
Westfield High playing Northampton tomorrow at 7:00. So if you don't have anywhere to go, pop out to Northampton High School tomorrow too. So before I let you guys go, I have one more song, and it is Icky Thump by the White Stripes. But other than that, I think that me and Pat are ready to clock out. It is about 1:58, so I only have 2 minutes on the show left anyways. So thank you for listening to Midday with the Raj. I'll be back with part 4 next week with me and Professor Pat. Same time, same channel, same station, on 103.5 WCCH at 1:00 next week. Thank you for listening, and have a good week, folks.
See y'all.